Jack Lamborghini anytime now to join us here in the broadcast booth. Pause for Coach's Corner as Cap Sports brings you the high school game of the week. Tonight, it's the Plymouth Eagles against the Weymouth North Maroons. Still Romano Stadium, as you heard from head coach Carl Frymouth, very concerned about a real big matchup tonight, and an opportunity now to visit with our statistician Eric Shulman. Eric, two big teams battling it out very early in the season.
Yes, and two of them are in the top 10 in Division II. Weymouth North coming into the game with a 2-0 record, 1-0 in the Old Colony League. They're ranked number 6. Plymouth number 4 in Division II. This is their league opener. I believe, well, this is a matter of opinion, but I believe coming into the third game that Plymouth has had the tougher schedule. So we'll see what happens here today.
Well, we saw a big game out of Joel Garrett in the game against Everett. We saw a big game from Tommy McDavitt in the win against Canton. Plymouth is going to need a big effort from both those kids and a lot of outside help if they want to be successful tonight.
Yes, they will. And we'd like to congratulate Joel Garrett because he won Honorable Mention Division II Player of the Week, and it wasn't for his offense. It was for his defense. He had 8 tackles, 2 unassisted, and he has 14 in 2 games. So he's doing it on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Well, last week we said that when we named our Al's Billiards shot of the game on defense, we gave it to Joel.
Joel Garrett. They're going to need a big game from him and McDavitt to come away 3-0 after this evening.
And how about from the Weymouth side? Some of your thoughts about them?
Well, the Weymouth, as you know, they've scored 81 points in 2 games, while the defense for Plymouth has only allowed 6.5 in average a game. So Plymouth's defense is going to be tested today against the Maroons from Weymouth North.
Okay, so you heard from Eric Shulman. We'll be back. We'll meet the captains from the Plymouth Eagles, and we'll have our opening kickoff. But first, a word from some of our sponsors. Mario Romano Stadium, you can see the captains meeting out there at the midfield stripe. Number 44 for the Eagles is Joel Garrett. Number 77 for Plymouth is Jeff Frymouth. Number 22, Tommy McDavitt. Number 42, Wayne Cristani. And now let's take an up-close look at these captains on the Plymouth side. Good. I'm on channel 39, but I'll tell you when to start. Just look at. And on the Weymouth North side, representing Weymouth North tonight, number 34, Jason Capello. And the other captain for Weymouth North, actually they have a couple of them out there. Number 51, representing Weymouth North tonight, Ted Keefe. And also out there will be their quarterback, Tim Stevenson, number 10. So Plymouth should get a big test tonight, Eric. At least the secondary will.
I don't believe they're going to have as good field position to be blessed with as they did last year. Last week, their first 6 positions started in Everett territory. So Weymouth North is going to have to watch out for that. Also, McDavitt's punting has been real excellent.
Big plus.
A big plus.
All right, as we can see, Plymouth came up and they're going to receive. You can see head coach Carl Frymouth right there and his boys around him. This is a big battle so early in the season. There's going to be a very strong wind at the back of the Weymouth North kicker. And as we get set for this Old Colony League opener, we're going to have the Star Spangled Banner here at Mario Romano Stadium. And before we do that, let's take a timeout. The Plymouth Eagles, representing Plymouth, of course, will be a number of seniors in tonight's football game. Weymouth, too, blessed with a lot of seniors. As we get set for this big Old Colony League battle from Mario Romano Stadium. Plymouth at home tonight with their dark blue jerseys and their numerals. You can see head coach Carl Frymouth in the screen talking to his receiving team, and I'm sure he'd like nothing better than to get a big return and get some momentum right away.
Oh, right away. I think it's going to be important. The first team that scores is going to be able to control the tempo of this game. Both teams can do it through the air and do it on the ground. They both have very balanced offenses.
All right, number 44 for Plymouth is Joel Garrett. He's on the far side, and let's look at some of the other receivers for Plymouth. In the middle for the Eagles is number 85. That's Adam Dean. And on the near side is number 21, Timmy Cherry. And for the Weymouth North Maroons, Let's pick up their kicking team. Number 10, Tim Stevenson, will kick. And you know, it's interesting. Tommy McDavitt kicks and punts, and he's the passer for the Eagles, the quarterback. Same situation for Weymouth North. Stevenson does it all. The difference in the two quarterbacks may be size. Stevenson, 6'2", 175 pounds. He's a senior. Tommy McDavitt, not your biggest kid on the field, at least as far as size is concerned, but he can do a lot of things to help a football team win a game. And Stevenson set, and he gets into the football, and it's a high end-over-end kick coming down to number 85 for Plymouth. That's Adam Dean. No blocking in front, and Dean shoots it up, and he's run out of bounds on the 15-yard line. Right there for Weymouth North, number 75, John Serafini.
So right away, there's a difference from last week. They're starting deep inside their territory, Plymouth, and we'll see if they can put up with the test. As Weymouth North is average of 40 points per game, and you don't want to give them good field position. So a first down here is very important.
First and 10 for the Eagles from the 14-yard line. Tommy McDavitt looks over the defense, barking his signals. He's got Crestani in tight. He's got the flanker screen, and the pass is complete out on the far side to number 85. That is Adam Dean.
Going right to the air, trying to keep Weymouth North off balance. They know McDavitt can run.
And it'll be second down and 6 now from the 18-yard line for Plymouth. Just underway here at Mario Romano Stadium, as McDavitt comes up over the football for Plymouth. And this time he hands it off to Timmy Cherry. He's got a big block, and Tim Cherry has got a big game for the Eagles. He's up in front of the Plymouth bench. He crosses the 50-yard line. And Timmy Cherry is finally brought down from behind. So there's a big gain for Plymouth right off the top from the 18-yard line. He's finally run out of bounds on the 49-yard line. A 31-yard pickup for Timmy Cherry.
And a first down. First down. He ran off tackle on that play. Thought he could go all the way there, but the pursuit caught up.
First and 10 now from the 49-yard line for Plymouth. There was movement before the snap, and the handoff that time went off to Joel Garrett. You know, on that last play, let's give a lot of credit to Joel Garrett, who is the lead blocker for Cherry.
Well, they're going to have to block Weymouth North. Very big on defense. They're coming up with some big plays the first two games, so the blocking is going to be important.
So Plymouth is now in Weymouth North territory. Coming and setting up wide to the left, number 84, Jed Benedict, who's making a return to the Plymouth lineup for the first time this season. He was hampered with an injury early on. And this is Timmy Cherry with a carry. And Cherry is run down almost immediately. Timmy Cherry just about back to the line of scrimmage will actually give him, well, actually no gain. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Eagles from the 48-yard line. Cherry, no gain on the play.
Big third down play here.
There's the Weymouth defense. They've got 6 people up front, and they are some big people. Just underway, 7:56, 7:55 and counting. There's Tommy McDavitt leading the Eagles out of the huddle. And McDavitt drops back to pass. He's got time, throws over the middle, and the ball is intercepted. Intercepted by Weymouth North, number 41, Lou Hendrickson. Lou Hendrickson stepped right in front of the play and picked that ball off.
His flag's down. Weymouth North brought 7 people to the line of scrimmage, but they did not blitz. The ball was thrown over the middle, and number 41 intercepted it.
And the referee's conferring here to find out which way this is going to go. Let's wait and see what it is. They call it a clip on Weymouth North. However, they will retain possession, and the ball will be backed up now to the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 for Weymouth North from the 24, and this is where Stevenson will go to work. And Weymouth North can hit you from a number of different angles. As you look at that Plymouth bench, assistant coach Joe DeSisto right there.
Have to stay away from the turnovers today.
Setting up wide to the left is Lou Hendrickson, and going in motion is Chuck Monturi. Stevenson drops back. He's got Monchuri. He's got blocking in front. He avoids one tackler, but doesn't get by the second man. Making the stop for the Eagles, number 58, Mike Monkevich. The pass is complete, and the gain is up to the 30-yard line, a 6-yard gain through the air. The 2nd and 4 now from the 30 for Weymouth North. And Stevenson set to go once again. And they have another man in motion, and this time the handoff goes to that man who is number 14, and there's a fumble on the play. Let's see who's recovered it. All signs point to Plymouth. Let's see who gets up from that pile. Making the recovery, is it Dan Keller? No, they say it's Weymouth North football, so a little bit of a turn of event here. And they actually gained 3 yards on the play. The handoff that time went to Rich Mraz, number 14. We'll hear a lot from Rich tonight.
He had 36 carries last week.
All right, Stevenson running up the middle. This time it's fumbled, and this time the Eagles do get it. Coming up with the football is number 42. That's Wayne Crestani. You can see Wayne exhibiting some of his enthusiasm after recovering that ball, and the Eagles will take over on the 40-yard line. Oftentimes we see this, Eric, a big ball game between two teams, and you know, two big powerhouses, and turnovers play a key role.
Both have turned over their first possession. Mistakes could decide this game.
Here's Joel Garrett running for the Eagles.
Flag is down.
Offside against Weymouth North. Let's wait and see if the Eagles take the penalty or not. Garrett did advance the football to the 36, which would be a gain of 4. Of course, if the Eagles take the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Actually, the gain was to the 36, I'm sorry. If they take that penalty, it'll advance the football to the 34. And the Eagles will take it. Now you see the Plymouth huddle. There's Joel Garrett to give you an idea of his size. 1st and 5 now from the 34-yard line. Tommy calling his signals, hands it off to Garrett. And Garrett's got running room outside, and he's going to be tough to catch. Mraz is there, but he can't bring him down. Garrett finally run down. Joel Garrett finally run down close to the 5-yard line. Let's see where they spot this football. And what a show of strength that time by Joel Garrett. Mraz come up and tried to gang tackle him, but he couldn't do it.
If he gets out to the outside with his speed and strength, he's going to be tough to bring down, and he displayed that.
And they call a face mask on the play.
So that was a gain of 30 yards on that carry.
And a face mask on top of it. This will put the football half the distance to the goal, and the Eagles now 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. And an interesting point for the Eagles so far this season, they've been inside the 20-yard line 8 times, and they've scored 7 times. Here's Tommy McDavitt with a keeper, and Tommy is swarmed under immediately. Making the stop for Weymouth North, Matt Deedy, number 56, 5'11", 210 pounds. Got to be compact to be 5'11", 210.
He got right through there.
And McDavitt thrown for a loss. This puts the football back to about the 7. So a loss of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal now from the 7 for Plymouth. Penalty flag on the play. Let's wait and see what the call is. The referee's talking this thing over. Procedure against Plymouth cost him another 5, and these are the things that weren't evident in the first 2 ball games. Plymouth was not hurting themselves.
Both teams coming out a little tight here. Both with a turnover. Weymouth North with 3 penalties.
All right, the Eagles set to go once again. Tommy McDavitt leading the ball club. Out of the huddle. Tommy barking his signals, dropping back to pass. He has time. He throws in the corner of the end zone. He's got a man, but he overthrows Jed Benedict. Jed was out there, but the ball just a bit high. Benedict tried to make the catch backpedaling, but up just a little bit.
Good call there. McDavitt didn't telegraph where he was going. He brought the defense over to his right and threw back to his left. Just out of the reach.
It's going to be 3rd and goal for Plymouth when we do return. We've got 5:21 to go in the ball game, or at least in the first quarter of tonight's ball game. There is no score. Plymouth knocking on the door. When we come back, it'll be 3rd and goal for Plymouth from the 12-yard line. Let's take a timeout. When we return, we'll have more first quarter action. It's set to go, a big 3rd down situation from the 12-yard line, as you see McDavitt setting up Wayne Cristani and number 85, Adam Dean. McDavitt dropping back to pass. Tommy has time. He goes towards the corner of the end zone, and he overthrew his man. He overthrew Jed Benedict, but right there was a sliding Adam Dean, and it was almost a mistake touchdown, I think. Dropping back to pass. Tommy has time. He goes towards the corner of the end zone, and he overthrew his man. He overthrew Jed Benedict. And goal from the 12. Now the interesting thing here is McDavitt's got a strong leg. He can kick field goals from the 25 on in, but there's a real strong wind, and we'll see what happens as he sets up from the 20. This will be a 30-yard field goal. Scott Coolidge, number 30, will hold for Plymouth. Here's the snap. The ball is down, and this thing may be good. It is good.
It's good.
Tommy McDavitt has kicked a field goal for the Eagles. And I'll tell you, plenty of distance on that thing and plenty of height.
That would have gone 40, 45 yards. But it goes down as a 30-yard field goal with 5:09 remaining in the first quarter. And Plymouth jumps out to a 3-0 lead. And that's important. If you have those scoring opportunities down inside your opponent's territory, you have to come away with at least some points. They didn't come away with 7, but they did come away with 3.
Okay, so the Plymouth Eagles cashing in on the fumbled attempt, and on the season, that's now what we would call, let's see, what is it? 8 times they've scored out of 9 attempts inside the enemy's 20-yard line. The Plymouth Eagles striking first and have the lead 3-0 on the 30-yard field goal by Tom McDavitt.
In the first 2 games this year, Plymouth has not allowed a point in the first and third quarters.
Okay, Tommy McDavitt will kick off for the Eagles when play does resume. We're going to take a quick timeout from Mario Romano Stadium. We'll be back with more right after this. For the Eagles, he gets away a pretty good kick, backing Moraz up to the 10-yard line. Moraz has some blocking, and he has an opening, and he's finally dumped. Making the tackle for the Eagles, number 13, Scott Coolidge. Scott Coolidge making the stop for Plymouth. And Weymouth North will go to work, 1st and 10 now. Pretty good field position at the 35-yard line.
Rich Moraz last week had 36 carries, 164 yards. He even threw a touchdown pass, so we have to be careful of that. They can throw the option.
6 plays, 40 yards on the drive for Weymouth North. Here's Moraz taking the pitch. A lot of Blue Eagles there on the defense. Leading the way for Plymouth, getting up from the pile. It looks like number 34. That's Brett Strassel making the stop for Plymouth. One note about this game, the Eagles are without John Adelman, number 19, a separated shoulder in practice this week. If you caught Coach's Corner, Carl Farmouth says, well, we may be without John Adelman for at least 5 weeks, maybe the whole season. Big blow for Plymouth.
That's going to hurt. He's a very, very good ball player.
Here we go, 2nd and 6 from the 39. Stevenson dropping back to pass, pumps once, fakes it, and now throws in the direction of number 20. That's Chuck Monturi.
Oh, there's a late flag down. Late flag down.
Pass goes incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 9 now. Rather, 3rd and 6 from the 39. 3rd and 6 from the 39. They call an illegal man downfield. Illegal man downfield. And we'll see if Plymouth goes with the penalty or not after the incompleted pass. It would appear Plymouth would turn the penalty down, and this would make it a 3rd down and 6 situation. 4:22 to go. 4:22 to go here in the first quarter. Plymouth leading 3-0. Illegal man downfield, as we said. Plymouth declines the penalty, and Weymouth North will operate now from the 39-yard line. Dan Lindblom is in the ball game for Weymouth North. 6'2", 175 pounds. A lot of size on the Weymouth North side as well, much the way we saw last week against Everett. And this is the view that Coach Carl Frymouth has for this setup of plays. Coming in motion is Mraz. The fake handoff. Stevenson drops back to pass. He goes downfield and overthrows his man. The pass was intended for Ed Norton. Now that's a pretty famous name, Ed Norton. Ring a bell?
It rings a bell.
Okay, so the Plymouth Eagles with a good defensive stand right there, and that's important right after getting a score. It's 4th and 6 now for Weymouth from the 39-yard line. Let's check the deep men for the Plymouth Eagles. As Stevenson gets set to kick off, deep is Tommy McDavitt and I believe Adam Dean. Stevenson in punt formation for Weymouth North. The kick will come from about the 33-yard line. One step and he lets it go. High kick coming down to McDavitt on the 18-yard line. Tommy with a bit of an opening puts his head down, and a real gutsy return up to about the 32-yard line.
43-yard punt for Stevenson.
All right, so the Plymouth Eagles hold Weymouth North without a first down, and with 4:07 to go in the first quarter, Plymouth takes over again. This time 1st and 10. We'll call it the 31-yard line. So Plymouth with a nice defensive stand. A lot of people involved in the play that time.
Good pass protection for Weymouth North, but even better pass defense by Plymouth.
That's right. Here we go. Joel Garrett goes right up over the left side. You'll get about, well, call it maybe 1.5 yards. And considering he's the home runner, we'll give him 2 yards on the play.
We're going to give him 2 yards. That brings him up to 35 for the game.
All right, 2nd and 8 from the 33-yard line. Mike Shea on camera 2 with a perfect shot right into the line right there as McDavitt hands the ball off to Joel Garrett. And Garrett with a nice run that time. Joel Garrett up to, well, we'll call it the 38-yard line. Gain of 5 for Garrett. It'll be 3rd down and 3. 3rd and 3. 3:14 and counting here in the first quarter. Plymouth on top. McDavitt fakes the handoff. It looked like a broken play, and Tommy, keeping the football, races down the sideline. Tommy gets the first down. It looked like he wanted to hand it off to Garrett. It looked like almost a broken play.
But it goes for 9 yards and a first down. 3rd first down of the game for the Plymouth Blue Eagles. Weymouth North yet to have a first down.
The ball is now on the 48-yard line. A 10-yard pickup for Tommy. Last week, Joel Garrett, 112 yards rushing against Everett. Tommy barking his signals. Hands it off to Timmy Cherry. Cherry trying to run hard, and that was probably the strongest run we've seen him make all year. You know what? He just put his head down and went right into the defense, making no bones about it. He wanted extra yardage.
Cherry and Garrett complement each other so well. Speed and size.
A 4-yard pickup. We'll call it 2nd and 6 from the Weymouth 48-yard line. McDavitt barking his signals. Tommy with Cherry behind him, and Tommy gets tripped up. There is a penalty flag on the play, however. Tommy held on to the football, I think, wisely that time. Let's wait and see what the call is here. Offside against Plymouth. That's an interesting call. Today's game is brought to you in part by the dental offices of Dr. Richard Carr in Plymouth. I'll invite you to enjoy Monday Night Football, the game of the week throughout the season here on Channel 39. And the offices of Dr. Carr remind you to always wear that mouth guard when you're playing any sort of sport.
So the ball's on the 49-yard line of Plymouth. another third down play. They're 1 for 3 in third down conversions thus far. 1:45 in the clock running in the first quarter.
3rd and 8 from their own 49. The handoff goes to Joel Garrett, and Joel gets tripped up and just about gets back to the midfield stripe. Joel at the midfield stripe for Plymouth, and they actually say his knee went down on the 49-yard line, so no gain on the play for Garrett. And Tommy McDavitt will have an opportunity now to exhibit his punting ability. Close-up of Timmy Cherry. McDavitt will kick for Plymouth, number 20. Chuck Monchuri is back, and Rich Mraz. The high snap for Tommy, and he gets away a real high punt. A squibbly punt. The Plymouth defense is there. The ball bounces and will roll dead on about the 25-yard line.
26-yard punt from McDavitt.
A 26-yard punt will give Weymouth the football on the 25-yard line when play does resume. Taking a look at that scoreboard clock, Plymouth 3, Weymouth North nothing, 53 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Sometimes the best defense is to keep your offense on the out there playing, and 17-6 play advantage so far for Plymouth.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Stevenson, the quarterback, has Mraz in motion, fakes the handoff, goes right over the middle. The pass was intended for number 20, Chuck Manchurio, and the pass went incomplete. A number of Plymouth people there on the defensive side.
He was open over the middle.
Number 34 was there for Plymouth. That's Brett Strassel.
Out of Weymouth North, 7 plays. 3 are on the ground and 4 are through the air.
Stevenson, the quarterback, looking over the defense, has a man in motion. That's Manchuri. He drops back to pass once again. He goes deep, and he way overthrows his man by 15 or 20 yards. The pass thrown in the direction of Rich Mraz. And on the defensive side there for Plymouth, Brett Strassel, number 34. Tommy McDavitt also out there for Plymouth. There's the two guys. Strassel getting his first bit of action, as I mentioned. John Adelman out of the lineup, and Brett Strassel is a good-sized tight end, and he also plays on the defensive side in the defensive backfield. Only a junior for Plymouth. All right, it's going to be 3rd down now. We'll check the numbers for Stevenson in a minute after those 2 incompletions. 3rd and 10 from the 25-yard line. Mraz in motion once again. Stevenson drops back. The pass rush is there, and he throws the ball short. The pass was intended for Ed Norton up on the 35-yard line, and the ball just a bit short. And you can see the Plymouth deep people going back. That's Adam Dean, 85, and Tommy McDavitt, number 22. Those two guys are standing on the 30-yard line. So I believe Weymouth North is yet to pick up a first down, Eric.
That's true. Tim Stevenson 1 for 6 for 6 yards. If you're going to pass, you have to come up with the completions, because the offense just had the ball for 16 seconds, and the entire defense has to go back on.
What a booming punt. Going over McDavitt's head, and it takes a big Plymouth bounce right into the end zone. As you can see, that ball lying dead.
75-yard punt.
So that might be a highlight of the night so far. And I think that's what Weymouth North needed about this time. Stevenson with a 75-yard punt, and his first one went about 40-something yards.
43 yards. Shows you that the wind may have an effect on tonight's game.
I'd say a little bit on that last one. Okay, Plymouth set to go once again with 24 seconds to go in the first quarter. Plymouth leading 3-0. Setting up wide to the left, Jed Benedict, number 84. McDavitt barking his signals, pitches it off to Cherry. There's an opening on the right side, and Timmy Cherry across the 25 and just about the 25-yard line before he's down. Let's see where they mark the football. Now they actually say the 24-yard line, and that's going to do it here in the first quarter. That should be the final play, 3 seconds, 2 and counting, and you can see that Plymouth huddle. And the Eagles have to be happy with what they've gotten here in the first quarter. A big advantage for Plymouth, much the way we saw them dominate Everett last week on the same field, the way they dominated Everett in the second half. So we've reached the end of one quarter of action here at Mario Romano Stadium. And our score is the Plymouth Eagles 3 and the visiting Weymouth North Maroons nothing. We'll be back with more action right after this timeout. Welcome back to Mario Romano Stadium. There's the scoreboard as we start the second quarter, 3-0 Plymouth. And there is head coach Carl Frymouth as he gets set to watch his team operate once again. Plymouth set to go. Here's McDavitt on a keeper, and Tommy shooting the outside. Crosses the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Some of the play numbers, Eric, in that first quarter.
Okay. Plymouth outrushed Weymouth 87-7. The leading carriers, Joe Garrett, 5 carries, 40 yards. And Tim Cherry, 4 carries for 42 yards. 91-13 in total yardage, 4-0 in first down, and an 18-9 advantage in plays.
Here's Timmy Cherry getting tripped up, and he actually slipped, I think, off his own feet. I didn't see anybody bang him there, and Timmy went down. There'll be a loss back to the 28-yard line. A loss of 3 for Cherry, and it'll be second down and 13 from the 28.
So now both Cherry and Garrett, 5 rushes for 40 yards.
Jed Benedict set up wide to the right. McDavitt dropping back to pass, tries to go over the middle to Cristani, and the ball is well overthrown. 42 Cristani on the receiving end, and covering for Weymouth North, number 42, Ed Norton. A little bit of difference in size, too. Wayne Cristani going about 6'2", 210. Ed Norton, 5'11", 165.
Carl, both quarterbacks have been overthrowing. They have to adjust to the wind a little bit. I think the wind is causing havoc with both quarterbacks.
Here goes McDavitt once again, calling his signals, dropping back. He's got people out there, and he throws in the direction of Jed Benedict, and it looked like it hit Jed right in the hands. At least from here it did when we look at the films over. And Jed might be thinking about that one for a while, his first game back, and I'm sure he'd like to have that one all over. And Plymouth now in another punting situation. Tommy will kick for Plymouth, and Mraz is back deep. This kick will come on about the 20-yard line, and Tommy gets a high end-over-end type kick coming down to Manchuri, and he hands it off to Mraz, and Mraz is tripped up. Mraz is tripped up, making the stop for Plymouth. Number 40, Jason Bias. A real nice job on the defensive side for Plymouth by Jason Bias. He was going down, and he just stuck his hand out and tripped up Mraz.
Beautiful unassisted tackle in the open field after a 41-yard punt by McDavitt.
So Weymouth North will take over on the 24-yard line now. And we'll see how Weymouth North opens up here now with the wind. Right in the face of their quarterback, Stevenson. Stevenson pitches it back to Mraz, and Mraz is met in the backfield. Getting up from that pile for Plymouth, Brett Strassel coming up from his defensive backfield position. Actually a gain of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9 from the 25-yard line. Taking a look now at that Plymouth defense. 42 is Cristani, 77 is Frymouth. We'll get some of the other boys in a minute. There's another handoff for Weymouth North, and there's that whole Plymouth defense. Give you an idea how they pile in there. Look at them all getting up. Cristani, 56, Mark Ruggiero, 77, Frymouth, 35, Dan Keller, 59, Henderson. Nice up-close look at that Plymouth defense. 58 is Mark Monkevich. Not Mark, but Mike Monkevich. There's 40, Jason Bias. 34 is Brett Strassel. Third down, about 7, as Stevenson drops back to pass. He's being rushed. He throws in the direction of number 86, Dan Lindblom, but he overthrows his man, and Weymouth North will be forced to kick this ball away, and Stevenson get up off the ground. I didn't see who hit him on the Plymouth side, but once again, good pressure by the Plymouth front people.
Stevenson was forced to get rid of that a little quicker than he wanted to.
Well, it's going to be 4th and 6 now, as you see Stevenson in punt formation. Deep for the Eagles, Tommy McDavitt and Adam Dean on about the 45-yard line. Stevenson set to go. He gets it away, and this is a high-hanging punt. Coming down, and Tommy McDavitt does the wise thing and backs off. And Tommy lets it go out of bounds on about the 47. Plymouth will have great field position when they take over here.
That was a 25-yard punt, a little different when you're going against the wind.
Almost, well, what's that, about a third of what he had the last one. Be 1st and 10 for the Eagles now from their own 48-yard line.
Again, good field position for Plymouth. Let's see if they can capitalize.
All right, setting up. Wide to the left, Adam Dean, number 85. 84 is Jed Benedict. McDavitt goes back to pass, and Cristani makes a great grab in a crowd. Wayne Cristani made a great catch for Plymouth. The defensive man was right there for Weymouth North, and Cristani grabbed it, and an even better pass by McDavitt, who threaded the needle.
Cristani had to play defense there, making sure of take away that interception, and then he comes away with the completion.
We'll call it a 5-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the Weymouth 47. Tommy calling his signals. Benedict set wide to the right. The handoff goes to Timmy Cherry, and he's met in the backfield, fumbles the football, and Weymouth North has recovered. Weymouth North has recovered the football. I'm not sure who picked up that loose football.
Number 51, Ted Keefe.
Ted Keefe recovers the football. He's a big kid, 5'10", 220, and what a hit he laid on Timmy Cherry. So the second turnover.
Weymouth ball, 1st and 10 on their own 49.
1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Let's see if this gives new life to Weymouth North. Running the football this time is Chuck Monturi. And Chuck inside Plymouth territory to about the 46, we'll call it. Maybe the 47. We'll call it the 47. A gain of 4 on the play for Manchuri. 2nd and 6 now from the Plymouth 47. And here's a handoff going to 41, Lou Hendrickson. Hendrickson gets it close to the 45. We'll call it the 46 this time. 1-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 5 for Weymouth North from the 46-yard line. 3rd and 5 from the 46.
0 for 2 on 3rd down play so far for Weymouth.
Here's Stevenson, the quarterback, barking his signals. Manchuri in motion, and there's movement. Jeff Frymouth, jumping in the backfield. Let's watch the referee as he talks about this thing. A motion penalty against Weymouth North. So this has to hurt the Maroons a bit.
Weymouth North's 4th penalty for 30 yards.
Let's look at that Plymouth defense. 44 is Joel Garrett going right across the football. Dan Keller right over the ball. We'll get a close-up of Keller in a minute. He's not a big guy. We've talked about it before. 3rd and, we'll call it 10 now from the 49-yard line. Monturi in motion as Stevenson goes back to pass, throws over the middle. The ball is tipped, and it's picked off by Brett Strassel. The ball was actually tipped back there. I think it was Mike Henderson who tipped it, number 59. I think Henderson tipped it before Strassel picked it off.
Yes, it was deflected. Let's see what this penalty is.
That's an illegal procedure against Weymouth North. Obviously, Plymouth will decline it with 5:16 to go in the first half, and Plymouth leading 3-0. Plymouth takes over now, 1st and 10 on the 38-yard line.
Tim Stevenson, 1 for 8, 6 yards. He completed his first pass of the game. Since then, he's 0 for 7. He also has 2 interceptions.
5:16 to go in the first half. Plymouth leading 3-0 as McDavitt barks his signals. Hands it off to Joel Garrett. Garrett with a pretty good sized opening. Avoids one tackler, and he's finally brought down on about the 46, 47 yard line. Joel running hard there for Plymouth. Up to the 46, an 8-yard pickup for Garrett. It'll be 2nd and 2 now from the 46 for Plymouth. Yeah, Plymouth really doing a good job controlling this football when they do have it. Time winding down here in the first half, 4:47, 4:46 and counting. Benedict in tight on the right side as the handoff goes to Garrett. Looked like he was going to go down, and Joel just keeps driving those legs. Keep driving those legs, Joel, and he worked his way into Weymouth North territory to the 49-yard line. A 5-yard pickup and a first down for Plymouth. It'll be 1st and 10 now from the 49.
That's Plymouth's 5th first down of the game, and Weymouth North still with no first downs.
And Garrett is rolling up some impressive numbers again here in the first half.
It's getting to be a habit for him. 7 rushes, 53 yards.
McDavitt on a quarterback keeper. Tommy with some pretty good yardage. Just a keeper right there and got right down to the 41-yard line. An 8-yard pickup for Tommy McDavitt. Nice opening on that left side. He caught everybody off guard.
Garrett, McDavitt, and Cherry rushing the ball well, but the offensive line, they're making holes you could drive a truck through.
Tommy calling his signals. Adam Dean, 85. Jed Benedict, 84. Tommy rolling to the right. He's going to keep it. He has some real estate in front, and he slips, trying to avoid number 41 for Weymouth North, Lou Hendrickson.
Gain of 7. And another first down.
Jed Benedict coming back into the ballgame for Plymouth, number 84.
The longer Weymouth North's defense stays on the field, the more tired they get. And it's starting to show because they're not catching up to the pursuit.
All right, Garrett right up over the top this time, down to the 33-yard line. Gain of, well, a long 1, maybe a short 2. It'll be 2nd down for Plymouth from the 33-yard line. 2nd, we'll call it 8 from the 33. Closer to the 32. 2nd and 8 from the 32-yard line. 2:54, 2:53 and counting. Adam Dean in the slot, Benedict wide to the right. Are they setting him up for the bomb? Here's another keeper by McDavitt, but he didn't fool anybody this time. Tommy didn't fool anybody. And he brought down immediately, making the stop for Weymouth North. Number 31, Sean Small. Sean Small making the stop. So Tommy with a gain of maybe 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd down, we'll call it 7, from just inside the 32-yard line. 2:20 and counting. Once again, the wide receivers are Adam Dean and Jed Benedict for Plymouth. You can see him in the bottom of the screen. McDavitt dropping back to pass. Has time, and he rifles it. Adam Dean has it for Plymouth. Adam Dean makes the catch for the Plymouth Eagles, and he's down on about the 12-yard line. Tommy McDavitt threading the needle that time.
Gain of 25, another first down.
We'll call it the 12-yard line. Actually, it was a 19-yard pickup on the play. Going from the 31 to the 12. And Plymouth will go for it once again. 1st and 10 now from the 12-yard line. McDavitt rolling back, keeps it. He's got some opening down the right side, and Tommy's going to get in for the touchdown for Plymouth. Tommy gets in for the touchdown for the Plymouth Eagles. Timmy Cherry there to congratulate him, and Tommy just rolled to the right and quickly took advantage of the opening. And let's take another look at that. McDavitt rolling back, keeps it. He's got some opening down the right side, and Tommy's going to get in for the touchdown for Plymouth. Tommy gets in for the... And the Eagles are set to go now for the conversion attempt with 1:47 to go. in the first half. Tommy will kick it. Scott Coolidge will hold. He'll place the ball down on the 10. And there's the kick. And it's good. And as the Plymouth Eagles head upfield, they have the lead 10-0 with 1:47 to go. Here in the first half, you're watching the high school game of the week as Cap Sports brings you action from Mario Romano Stadium. Plymouth against Weymouth North. Let's take a timeout. On top, 10-0. Tommy McDavitt with a 12-yard run. That last drive, 8 plays, 62 yards. Tommy with all the points so far in the ball game for Plymouth, and he'll kick off here from the 40-yard line, and deep for Weymouth North, Rich Mraz and Chuck Monturi. And Tommy gets into the football, and it's a high end-over-end kick coming down. It bounces off Monturi into the hands of Mraz, and Mraz will down it deep in the end zone. And I'll tell you, Tommy got his foot into that thing, and it had so much power behind it with that strong wind. It just hit him and bounced to the deep man, Mraz, and Weymouth North nowhere to go again, but 80 yards for a touchdown.
Weymouth North still without a first down, and Plymouth has 7 of them. And in plays, well, you can tell the lopsidedness of this game so far when Plymouth has ran 32 plays and Weymouth only 15.
All right, here's Stevenson over the football. Weymouth North trailing 10-0. Monturi in motion. The fake, the handoff, and Stevenson rolling to the right. Gets away from some pursuit. Now he lets it go downfield. He's got a man back there, and Strassel has picked the ball off again for Plymouth. Brett Strassel has intercepted the football for the Eagles. Brett Strassel with his second interception of the game. Brett Strassel replacing John Adelman, and Brett Strassel's having a game to remember right now.
On the road, 39, first and 10.
I'll tell you, Stevenson got away from the pursuit that time and let that thing go, and I believe that's his 3rd interception so far in the ball game.
Yes, it is. 1 for 9.
Plymouth takes over 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line with 1:33 to go in the half. Let's see if they can put any more points on the board. Adam Dean in the slot. Jed Benedict set wide to the right. McDavitt dropping back to pass. He sees an opening, and he's going to break away from the pressure. There is a penalty flag down, however. Let's wait and see what the flag means. Tommy brought down on about the 47. Tommy McDavitt with a field goal in the first quarter put Plymouth up 3-0, and he has a 12-yard run in the second quarter for a touchdown. The field goal coming with 5:09 to go. 6-play, 40-yard drive. Plymouth with all sorts of dominance here, as you see the referee calling offsetting penalties. They'll do the down all over. So all that means is some time is ticked off the clock. So Plymouth will operate again from the 39-yard line. Plymouth set to go now. 1st and 10 as McDavitt barks his signals. Once again, the 2 wide receiver there. He pitches it back to Timmy Cherry. Cherry trying to scoot the outside. Timmy shooting down the sidelines. And Timmy got nailed at the last minute, but not before he had an awful big gain down to the 34-yard line. 27-yard run that time.
First down, Blue Eagles.
The Blue Eagles runners are getting to that outside, and Weymouth North's defense out there for 34 plays is getting tired. They're just not able to catch up to them.
Actually, it was a 28-yard gain and another first down for Plymouth.
Their 8th of the game first downs.
McDavitt directing traffic out there. He's got Adam Dean set wide to the left. Jed Benedict wide to the right. A long count. He goes to Benedict, and Jed has the catch. Jed made the catch right over the middle. It advances it to, let's call it the 26-yard line. And following that completion, the Eagles want a timeout with 28 seconds to go in the first half. Plymouth leading 10-0. Let's take a break. Seconds to go in the first half. The Plymouth Eagles leading 10-0. And here the Eagles come out of the huddle. Big situation here for Plymouth. They've got to capitalize from the 28-yard line now. The receiver set wide to the left this time. McDavitt dropping back to pass. Has time. He's got a man out there. And let's see if the mill is caught. Jed Benedict with a nice catch for the Eagles. With a nice catch, and the Plymouth Eagles want a timeout with 23 seconds to go. So a good job that time by the Eagles using the clock. They go from the 26-yard line to about the 13, a 13-yard pickup on the play. That's another first down for Plymouth. As you see Tommy McDavitt talking to head coach Carl Frymouth, Plymouth definitely wants to capitalize here. Frymouth pointing some things out to his senior quarterback. Tommy has really come to life here in the second quarter, pinpointing his passes.
He's now 5 for 10 for 48 yards through the year. On the ground, he has 39 yards. He has all 10 points.
And Jed Benedict making a nice appearance coming into the Eagles lineup for the first time on the season. As you look at the Plymouth huddle, that's Wayne Cristani. 85 is Adam Dean. And the Plymouth Eagles trying to keep that ball right in the middle of the field with 23 seconds to go. Here's McDavitt dropping back to pass. He throws towards the right and can't get his man. The ball intended for Jed Benedict. 18 seconds remaining now in the first half. Plymouth 10, Weymouth North nothing. Tommy looking for some direction from the sideline, and here comes Brett Strassel into the backfield. Brett, 2 interceptions for the Eagles. I would say that's an adequate replacement for John Adelman tonight.
Oh, yes, he's having a fine game. He had a little help with that last one with the deflection.
All right, here goes Tommy McDavitt for Plymouth. Dropping back to pass, has time, and the ball is tipped. Tommy's arm got hit, or the ball got tipped at the last minute, and the pass fell well short of the intended receiver. It looked like Strassel was there down around the 8-yard line. 13 seconds to go in the half. 3rd and 10 for Plymouth. So they'll get 2 plays off anyways before they close this first half. And they want to stay right in the middle of that field if they can, because we've already seen McDavitt kick a 30-yard field goal with the wind blowing right in his face. He'll get another crack maybe, and this time the wind will be at his back.
Last time down here. They're
going to go for it now from the 20-yard line. So this will be a 30-yard field goal again. It looked like it was going to be a fake, and everything hustled and never got a chance to develop. Weymouth North recovering the loose football. It looked like Ed Norton recovered that football. So Plymouth on a 3rd down situation. Looked like there might have been a wrinkle there.
I think that's why they went for it on the 3rd down. In case that happened. If they recovered that, they would have still held on to the ball. Maybe got another shot. They knew they had 2 plays to work with down there. Good
Weymouth
call.
North takes over, still with no first downs in the ball game.
It's amazing with this team scoring 81 points in the first 2 games that they can't come away with a first down.
So let's give a lot of credit to that Plymouth defense.
A salute to the Plymouth Blue Eagles defense in this first half.
All right, the referee, as you can see in the picture, talking to the Plymouth side. He had already talked to the Weymouth side. 10 seconds to go. They ran 3 seconds off the clock is what they did. And got the clock adjusted, and there's only 10 seconds, and I'm sure at this point now we'll see Stevenson just call the signals and get down on one knee and play it safe. It wasn't Stevenson, but they called another safe play as they went right off the left side. That time the handoff went to Mraz, Rich Mraz. And on that play, Weymouth North calls a timeout with only 5 seconds to go. So with a break in the action and the score, Plymouth 10, Weymouth North nothing. Let's take a timeout. So now as Stevenson drops back to pass, he decides to keep it. This will be the last play of the first half. Stevenson with some pretty good yardage, and he's finally pulled under by Joel Garrett and a couple of others. And as you can see, the Plymouth Eagles heading into the locker room at the half. Plymouth is on top here, 10-0. I wouldn't actually call it a commanding lead, but certainly 10 points is not even indicative of how Plymouth is dominated here in the first half.
Oh, the numbers tell the story. The numbers tell the story. 38-17 in plays from the line of scrimmage. First downs, 9-0. Rushing, 162-25. 48-6 through the year. 210-31 in total yards.
Need you say any more?
That says it all right there. 10-0 at the half. Plymouth Blue Eagles leading.
Okay, as you can see, the Plymouth team is headed into the locker room. Carl Pratt along with Eric Schulman, Dennis Tavares, and Mike Shea. Jack Lamborghini will be around for the second half, and we'll talk about what went on here in the first half right after this timeout. Okay, welcome back to Mario Romano Stadium. A very interesting guest. We appreciate him spending time with us, Ron St. George, and we wish him luck with his football program. You can see the Eagles out there under the direction of Carl Frymouth as they come to the sidelines. We'll get set for the second half kickoff. We'd like to thank Eric Schulman for pinch hitting for Jack Lamborghini, who was caught in that famous Route 3 traffic, you tell us, Jack.
Well, it was spectacular, Carl, to say the least. I've been in the car for the last almost 4 hours, and I want to give a lot of credit to my daughter, Alia, who rode with me all the way and gave me encouragement and said, "Don't worry, Dad, we'll make it here tonight."
Well, you know, there's an old saying that goes around, better late than never. You just saved Cap Sports a bundle of money for only having to pay you for one half of, if we want to call it expert commentary. But you tell us you were listening to the game on WATD. Plymouth, a very dominant first half.
Spectacular first half. You know, defensively, this team has been pretty awesome in the first two games, and I think they're going to get nothing but better as the season progresses, and they showed it here in the first half. They've really shut down Stevenson in a big way. He's completed just 1 of 9 passes. In the first 2 games of the season for Weymouth North, he was a dominant factor, and the Plymouth defense has not let him get on track at all.
All right, Tommy McDavitt will kick off to start the second half. Deep for Weymouth North, number 14, Rich Mraz and Chuck Monturio. Tommy, as you can see in the screen right there, set to kick off for the Eagles, number 22. And Tommy gets into the football, and it's a fairly short kick coming up to about the 15-yard line. Mraz has it. Mraz with a bit of an opening off the left side, and he's finally brought down by Keller. Keller is there along with Monkevich, number 58. There he is right there, number 35 for Plymouth. Dan Keller, and Weymouth North will operate 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Couple of numbers to pass your way if you're just joining us. Plymouth with a wide advantage in plays, 38-18. And we'll give you some more as the second half continues. Here's number 20, Chuck Monturio. Couple of other numbers in the first half. Plymouth, 9 first downs, none for Weymouth North. 162 yards rushing for Plymouth. Cherry, 68 yards. Garrett, 55, the leading carriers. McDavitt, 39 yards rushing. 48 through the air for Plymouth to just 6 for Weymouth North. Here's the ball from the 40-yard line. Monturio once again, and he is upended. Let's see who hit him. Making the hit right there for Plymouth, number 59, Henderson.
Mike Henderson's done a great job at linebacker for 2 weeks, and from what I heard in the radio in the first half, Carl, he was doing a swell job coming along.
We still got to name our shot of the game and the Puritan Clothing player of the game. And I'll tell you, that was a shot right there by Henderson.
We'll look for some more here in the second half. We're looking for big things out of this Plymouth defense.
3rd and 2 now from the 43, and right there the Plymouth defense swarms the runner, leading the way, 56, Mark Ruggiero. Also there, Jason Bierce. Also there, Dan Keller. Number 34, Brett Strassel's had a nice game filling in for Adelman.
John Adelman got hurt there in the first half, and boy, it's something when a young man like that can come off the bench and do a heck of a job. I'm sorry, he didn't get hurt in the first half. He got hurt during the week in practice. Yeah, separated that shoulder.
4th and 1. Interesting. Weymouth North going for it. Stevenson, the quarterback, has the first down. Their first down coming with 8:34 to go in the third quarter. And does that surprise you? It's got to be a surprise.
No question about it. And talking to Joe Kelly, the coach of Weymouth North, earlier this week, he felt that there wasn't anybody who could shut this team down. He felt he had an arsenal, and there was no way that any defensive team, even as good as Plymouth, could absolutely shut this team down. And I think here in the second half, you know, we're going to be a little bit leery because this team could explode at any time.
All right, here's Rich Mraz taking the pitch. Cristani is there for Plymouth, and he drags him down. A penalty flag on the play, and it could be a holding or a clip against Weymouth North.
Real nice job by Cristani. He gave a clinic on playing defensive end there. As he strung the play out to the sideline, he fought off the blocker, number 20, Monterey, and then just dropped Morose in his tracks. Real nice play by number 42. Mr. Wayne Cristani.
Okay, it's a clip against Weymouth North. This will move the football all the way back to the 32-yard line. 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 25 now from the 32.
You know, coming out for the second half, this Plymouth team had to be fired up, Carl. They had to be very encouraged by the way they just dominated Weymouth in the first half. And if they can keep it up here early in the third quarter, it could spell doom for Weymouth in general.
Okay. There's Cristani on the defensive side for Plymouth. Boy, did he read that, and that's got to be our shot of the game.
Well, as he came flying through there, they were looking for a screen pass, and Mr. Cristani just came up with the big hit of the ball game this evening.
The Owls Billiards shot of the game right there for Wayne Cristani. He read that screenplay well.
Well, there was no fooling him at all. As Stevenson went back to pass and the Weymouth lineman allowed the Plymouth rush to come through, Cristani had it read all the way. Stevenson might have looked a little bit too early to his left and kind of opened the play up. It was a negative 4 yards on that last play.
So it's now 2nd and 29 from the 28. Stevenson dropping back to pass, throws in the direction of Rich Mraz, but overthrows him by a bundle. Overthrown him by a bundle. And you can see Adam Dean retrieving that football for Plymouth, helping out the referees just a bit. Shows he's in the game. If he's not in on offense, he's got to get his hands on the ball some way either.
Well, I think in a game like this, you know, you're pumped up on the, even if you're on the bench, you're excited because with a ball game of this magnitude, both these teams are 2-0 and favored to win the OCL. At least one of them will be.
3rd and 29.
It remains easy to be excited on the bench.
3rd and 29 from the 28. Brod's in motion once again. Stevenson dropping back to pass. He has time. He lets it go over the middle, and the ball is almost caught by number 12. Out there for Weymouth North was Dan Daly, and he almost made a real nice grab.
Well, that was a major league throw right there by Stevenson. That ball went about 25 yards on a line, didn't get more than six feet off the ground, traveling the whole distance. Just a shame that the receiver couldn't quite hang on to it. A break for Plymouth there, though.
Stevenson now 2 for 12 in the ball game for just 2 yards total. And Stevenson will punt now for Weymouth North. The ball will get off on about his own 20. Strong wind at his back, and he's got a nice long punt coming down to Adam Dean on about the 27. Dean moving upfield, crosses the 40 before he's brought down. Nice close-up shot of Adam Dean getting up from that pile. A 44-yard punt that time by Stevenson with the wind at his back. We saw the 75-yarder earlier, Jack, when you weren't here.
I heard about it.
Okay.
You know, actually, as nice a punt as that was, Carl, it was almost too good because he kind of outkicked the coverage and allowed about a 13-yard run back, so he only netted about 30 yards on the punt in total.
Plymouth 1st and 10 now with 7:04 to go in the third quarter. As McDavitt, the quarterback, hands it off to Timmy Cherry. Cherry tries the right side, and he's bear-hugged and dropped down. Timmy Cherry with some nice numbers in the first half. 6 rushes, 68 yards. Last week, Garrett over 100 yards.
Well, the balance in that Plymouth backfield is starting to show through as those first half statistics spelled out for us pretty much.
There's Brett Strassel bringing the play in for the Eagles. He'll set up wide to the right with Adam Dean. He seemed to be switching off and on with Jed Benedict. And McDavitt with the quarterback keeper. He's got an opening, and he crosses the midfield stripe, and he's awfully close to another Plymouth first down.
You know, that's a play that I don't think is a planned play, Carl, but Tommy McDavitt, with all the savvy that he has, as he comes up over center, he may see something there in the defense that dictates to him a little tap on the rear of that center, and that ball gets snapped, and he's through the hole very quickly. And that's really the mark of a KG veteran.
Tenth first down in the ball game for the Plymouth Eagles after the 10-yard pickup by McDavitt. First down for Plymouth. The handoff goes now to Joel Garrett. And Joel Garrett with a pretty nice gain. Joel ended up on his back, but not before he picked up some good yardage down to the 42-yard line. A 7-yard pickup for Garrett. And I'll tell you, the Plymouth offensive line is doing a great job opening up some holes.
Well, once again, those kids are coming through big time for these backs here. And we're talking about Mike Monkevich and Mark Ruggiero and Jeff Frymouth and Mike Henderson and Pat Bork. And every one of them up front has really been outstanding.
Here's Tommy barking the signals on a second down situation. He rolls back, sees a bit of an opening, and cuts it upfield. And Tommy is close to another first down. And the one thing Plymouth is doing is eating up a lot of time on that clock, keeping it away from that explosive Weymouth offense.
Well, they're dishing out in all different directions. It's Garrett up the middle, and McDavitt around the end, and McDavitt on a sneak, and Cherry off the right side. And, you know, right now that's the 6th first down of this drive.
6-yard pickup.
6-yard pickup. I'm sorry, Carl.
Another first down on this drive on the 36-yard line now for Plymouth.
And that makes it the 11th first down of the game.
Tommy set to go. In tight is Cristani. Set up wide to the left is Benedict. Here's Cherry trying to shoot the outside. Had a lead blocker in Joel Garrett. And Timmy Cherry was brought down after a gain of about 3 to the 34.
2nd and 7.
Plymouth having a great night on the ground.
Balls on that
We'll give credit right there to the left end, Ted Keefe from Weymouth, because he really stood up the lead blocker and then moved it back inside. Otherwise, Cherry was through the hole and off to the races.
2nd and 7 for Plymouth now, with 4:24 and counting. As McDavitt boxes signals, hands it off to Joel Garrett, and Garrett, I think, tripped on Jeff Frymouth. I think he did.
Quick little pop up in the middle. It was a quick trap, and Joel Garrett got through there in an awful hurry, and his feet didn't quite catch up with him. He still managed to pick up about 5 yards.
down and 3.
Coming back in the ball game now is Jed Benedict. As you can see him running to the huddle, and he's bringing the play into Tommy McDavitt. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3 for Plymouth from the 34. Plymouth is 1 for 3 in 3rd down conversions tonight.
McDavitt on the carry.
They could be 1 for 4 after this. I think it's going to be 4th down for Plymouth.
Tackle by Henderson.
There you see Coach Frymouth sending in Brett Strassel with the play. It's going to be 4th down and about 2 for Plymouth from the 28.
Ball is on way to 27.
Now let's see if they can convert this with 3:18, 3:17 and counting. Garrett the up back, Cherry the tailback. Hands off goes to Garrett, and Joel is stiffed. Weymouth North, with its biggest defensive stand of the ball game, stops the Plymouth Eagles this time around.
We'll give that Weymouth defense a lot of credit, because they came crashing through. It looks like they were sitting there ready and waiting for Mr. Garrett as he came up to shoot. And there was a whole host of Weymouth people there, including nose guard Sean Small and tackle Matt Deedy.
But the good thing here is Plymouth took over with 7:04 to go. Didn't get anything out of this, but they chewed up nearly 4 minutes of play. Went from 7:04 to 3:07.
You know, that's important with an explosive offense like Weymouth's that you're facing here. It's real important to hang on to that football as long as you can. The more you can keep them off the field, obviously the less damage they can do. And a guy like Stevenson, as bad a game as he's having right now, you know, he has the ability to explode on you at any moment.
Hey, and let's face it, it's less than 2 touchdowns away for Weymouth North. This game is brought to you in part by the dental offices of Dr. Richard Carr. If you get an injury to the mouth or teeth, chipped teeth, well, avoid extremes, hot or cold. See your dentist as soon as possible, because in most cases, the teeth can easily be restored. There's the scoreboard clock, 3:07 to go in the 3rd quarter. Plymouth leading 10-0. 197 yards rushing for the Eagles in tonight's ball game. Weymouth North does take over 1st and 10 now from the 26. Stevenson back to pass. The ball is tipped, and it's almost picked off. Almost picked off for the Eagles by number 49. I think that's Tudor. Yeah, John Tudor. The ball was intended for number 86, Dan Lindblom, and went off his hands.
Well, once again, the opportunistic, how's that? I spit that out all right. Eagles were there and almost capitalized on a tip ball. John Tudor's done a nice job during the course of the season in the defensive backfield for the Eagles.
All right, Mraz in motion. The fake, the handoff to Mraz, and Manchuri is there, and he's eaten up. He's eaten up. Dan Keller leading the way for Plymouth, number 35. Also in and around that football, Wayne Cristani. And really, Jeff Frymouth also there for Plymouth. Give that front line of the Plymouth defense some credit.
Well, they're not going to fool the Plymouth defense with that kind of misdirection. Weymouth brought out a little bit of the old wing T, brought him back over the inside the wing back on a trap play, and picked up only 2 yards. And I'll tell you, Carl, the more we go along, the more impressed I am with the Plymouth defensive front people.
There's 58, Mike Monkevich. Weymouth is 0 for 4 in 3rd down situations. Mraz in motion once again. There's movement before the snap, and Number 77, Owen Graves, 6'3", 195-pound senior tackle, moved before the ball was snapped. It's motion against Weymouth North. So 3rd and 8. It'll be now 3rd and 13 from the 24. And here they were, as I mentioned, having a tough time in 3rd down situations. Another penalty against Weymouth North. Eric Schulman tells us the 7th penalty against Weymouth North, 55 yards against the Maroons. 2:10 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Our score, Plymouth 10, the Maroons nothing. Here's a pitch back to Mraz. It's the halfback option pass. He's got his man out there, and the pass is complete. The pass is complete to Dan Lindblom. If you read the local papers the last couple of weeks, Mraz has done this before.
Well, again, this Weymouth offense is wide open. They can go in any direction, and obviously they need to pull out the stops here because Plymouth to this point has dominated the football game. That's the kind of play to look for to get a spark going, maybe create some momentum.
23-yard pickup and a Weymouth North first down, and I believe that was their first down of the ball game. Manchuri has hit. Jason Bierce leading the way for Plymouth. Jason awfully close to a shot of the game situation. A loss of 1 on the play. Nice job by Jason.
Well, once again, the Plymouth defense, they just got burned for a 23-yard gain, but they just sucked it up, tightened up their belt buckles, and came back in full charge ahead and dropped them for a little bit less than a 1-yard gain there on that next play.
2nd and 11. Stevenson back to pass. He's got his man again. This time the pass is complete to number 42, Ed Norton. And we might as well let you in on our inside joke. Do you know about Ed Norton?
Norton?
There you go.
I'll tell you, Ed Norton's a fine football player. He didn't play last year for Weymouth North, and he's got some serious speed and has real good hands, as he showed in that last play. And he's a weapon that Coach Kelly anticipates is going to be a big factor in the Weymouth North offense throughout the course of this year, Carl.
Well, 3rd down and 1 now from the 44-yard line for Weymouth North. Mraz in motion, swings wide. Stevenson dropping back to pass. He rolls, and he's got his man. The pass was complete once again to Dan Lindblom. And Dan went down on one knee, made a nice grab, and they say he was down on the 38-yard line, a 6-yard pickup. So Stevenson starting to heat up here.
Well, you can see that he has the potential to put the ball just about anywhere on the football field. He has a real rifle for an arm, and obviously he hasn't had a good night so far, but as you just mentioned, that's 3 in a row now that he's completed, and he's coming on strong. This Weymouth North team can score from any position on the field, and they've got just a ton of people who can get into the action.
Mraz in motion. Stevenson fakes the handoff, drops back to pass. He way overthrows his man once again. Way overthrows number 42, Norton. He's now 5 for 17 in the ball game for just over 40 yards.
Credit the right bookend there, Mr. Jeff Frymuth, for that incompletion, because he came crashing through on the right side, just ran over Chuck Montori, the blocker, and was in Stevenson's face, forcing him to release that ball probably a lot sooner than he wanted to.
Here's Stevenson with a pitch back. And there for Weymouth North, running the football, 21, Keith Struzeri. Haven't heard too much from Keith tonight.
Well, let me tell you a little about Keith Struzeri, Carl. He's a sophomore, and he has what Coach Joe Kelly terms as blazing speed. Both he and there's another young sophomore named Darren Gladstone, number 44. Neither one of these kids played last year, but they are terrific football players, and they're going to see a lot of action before, probably before this game's over, and definitely before the OCL season gets much further along. He is one of those many weapons talked about that Weymouth North does have.
Well, this is a big 3rd down situation for Weymouth North, and let's see how they unpile. Getting up there for the Eagles, 35, Dan Keller. The referee, as you can see him talking, wants a measurement. And while he wants that measurement, we can tell you that was the final play of the 3rd quarter. As the Plymouth Eagles come to the sideline and talk to head coach Kyle Frymuth and his assistants. Plymouth 10, Weymouth North nothing. We'll be back with the 4th quarter, and we'll see where they place this measurement. But first, let's take a timeout and hear from our proud sponsor. Quarter of action, a big 4th down situation for Weymouth North. 4th down and less than 1. The ball on the 29-yard line. And it's a first down for Weymouth North. The handoff went to Mraz, and he went off the left side.
Well, Weymouth's starting to build a little bit of momentum here, Carl, and if they can push one into the end zone here, we're going to have a whole new ball game. And again, I don't want to restate it too often, but this Weymouth North offense is the kind that can explode on you at almost any moment.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line for Weymouth North. Second play of the 4th quarter, and they pass it out there, and they've got their man. And he's close to a first down. The pass was complete to Dan Lindblom, 6'2", 175 pounds. They're starting to go to him now off the right side. Let's see, they moved the chains, and that is a first down. Down inside the 15, just inside the 15, a 12-yard pickup. So it's 1st and 10 now from the 15-yard line for Weymouth North.
This is the kind of offensive power that Weymouth North has shown throughout the first 2 games of the season.
Stevenson back to pass and way over the man's head once again. That's 42. Ed Norton. And poor Ed Norton's had some tough luck being on the receiving end of some of Stevenson's passes. Seems like all the passes that Stevenson has overthrown his men, Norton's been the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd down and 10 now from the 15, and this will be the 13th play of the drive that started way back on the 27-yard line. 2nd and 10 now from the 15-yard line. Stevenson has Mraz in motion. The handoff goes to Mraz. He tries the right side. Has some pretty good yardage. Joel Garrett there on the stop. Henderson there for Plymouth. Let's see what kind of gain they do give him. About a 2-yard pickup.
You know, if Weymouth North is going to do anything, Carl, here, I think they're going to have to do it through the air. The Plymouth defense has shown throughout the first half, and here again in the 3rd quarter, they're just going to be awful tough against the run. They've held Rich Mraz to under 40 yards so far in this ball game, and he's had over 100 in both the previous 2 games.
Here we go. 3rd down now from the 13-yard line. Stevenson dropping back. He has some open field. Frymouth in pursuit. Stevenson trying the sideline. He's down close to the goal line. And they say he got a touchdown. They say he got a touchdown, sweeping the left side. A great individual effort by Stevenson that time. A 13-yard TD for Stevenson.
Well, it wasn't set up on the blackboard that way, because as he rolled to his left, he was looking into the end zone, but with his receivers covered, he did a nice job of reacting to what the defense was going to give him, and he broke it off that left side, made a final cut down around the 5-yard line, and this stretched that 6'1" body to get into the end zone.
Okay, there is an injured Plymouth player down on the play. Coach Carl Frymouth is over there attending to the player, along with Ray Burton. I'm not sure who that is. I want to say Cristani, but I won't jump the gun just yet. And while they tend to that injured player, let's take a timeout. And our score right now is Plymouth 10, Weymouth North 6. We'll have more from Plymouth after this break. Wayne Cristani, and you can see him favoring that left side, hobbling to the sidelines. And that would be a devastating blow to the Eagles if he cannot return. Here goes Weymouth North now for the extra point. Stevenson, the quarterback, has just run 13 yards for a touchdown. He drops back now. He has to force the pass out there, and the ball bounces and goes incomplete. They didn't complete the conversion. He had a man out there, but the ball fell just short. And Plymouth will hold on to their 10-6 lead, and we'll be back with a kickoff right after this break.
Looking for a great place to have fun? Then why not bring the whole family to Al's Family?
And Plymouth will hold on to their 10-6 lead, and we'll be back with a kickoff right after this break. All right, welcome back to Mario Romano Stadium. Carl Pratt along with Jack Lamborghini. We're set to go now. Stevenson to kick off for Weymouth North. And that's a bouncing kick coming down to Adam Dean. Dean breaks one man, breaks another, and Adam Dean is across the 35 to about the 37. And we may have a piling on penalty against Weymouth North. Number 10, Tim Stevenson, was there late. He's the kicker.
Well, I think that Mr. Stevenson got a little bit over-enthusiastic there. As the ball carrier came flying up through the wedge there, he had really only one man to beat. Was tripped up, and Stevenson came through with a late hit. And that's going to cost him 15 big ones, Carl.
Okay. And it's a personal foul against Weymouth North. This will give the Eagles great field position at the Weymouth North, it looks like, 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for Plymouth at the 47.
Those are the kind of plays that give a coach a gray hairs, because you've just scored, you got all the momentum going your way. You kick off, you have them in relatively good field position from a defensive standpoint, and then somebody comes along and sticks a helmet in there three counts after the play's already over, and it costs you 15 big ones and can be a big swing in momentum.
Well, that was the 8th penalty for 70 yards against Weymouth North. Here's McDavitt handing it off to Garrett, and Garrett's hit right away. Garrett hit right away. Weymouth North keying in on him, and you can see Joel getting up a bit slowly. Wayne Cristani is already down for Plymouth on the sidelines. He's standing next to the fence now trying to stretch his leg out. We'll keep our eyes on him. So at least it's a good sign that Wayne is up on his feet. You can't see him right now in the camera, but there you see his head. So it's one good sign that Wayne is up, being attended to by Ray Burton, the team's trainer behind. 2nd down and 11 for the Eagles. McDavitt fakes the handoff, now gets away from some of the pressure, and coming up from behind, he actually got a little boost by one of the Weymouth North players. Give him another yard or so. But those are tough yards for your quarterback to get.
Absolutely. Tommy's taking a beating every time he carries that ball. Weymouth is a hard-hitting football team. They really come after you, and he's earning every yard that he's getting.
All right, McDavitt advanced the football. We'll call it to the 43. Maybe the 44. We'll give him a 6-yard pickup on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5 now from the 43-yard line.
You credit Lou Hendrickson, number 41, with that last hit, Carl. He was the guy who put the hurt on Tommy.
1 for 4 in 3rd down situations for Plymouth. 7:22 and counting here in the 4th quarter. McDavitt dropping back to pass. Tommy has time. He's got a man open. The pass is complete to Jed Benedict, and that's enough for a Plymouth 1st down. Jed Benedict making the grab for the Plymouth Eagles. He was wide open on the left side. McDavitt found him. They'll put the football down just inside the 20-yard line. A 23-yard pickup for the Eagles.
Well, give Tommy McDavitt a lot of credit, because he threw the ball out there on a line and got it in a hurry to that receiver. But you know, Carl, Timmy Cherry in the backfield took out that Russian defensive end. I'll tell you, he laid a big block on him, which kept that defensive end out of Tommy McDavitt's face. That was number 51, Ted Keefe, who's been a pain in the neck all night for Plymouth, and give Tim Cherry a lot of credit for the block that he made. All
right, Joel Garrett gets the handoff, and there's a penalty flag on the play. Let's see how they sort this out. Jed Benedict, making his first appearance of the season, has 3 receptions for 43 yards. He's been a big boost to that lineup.
It's a pretty impressive debut. You know, you hate to see it happen through an injury to somebody else, but boy, it's great when a young kid can come off the bench and contribute like that.
Well, here's a guy that was hurt in the preseason. They were counting on him at the beginning of the year. Now he comes in and shows what they were looking for. All right, and there's a good sign. Number 42, Wayne Cristani, back in the ball game.
Boy, that's going to make Carl Frymuth a happy camper right now. You know, both offensively and defensively. Looks like he's still limping a little bit, but I'm sure they wouldn't have him back in there unless he was pretty much 100% and ready to go.
10-yard penalty against the Eagles. It's now 1st and 20 from the 30-yard line. Here's McDavitt trying to get away from some pressure, and Tommy does. And Tommy shoots his way right down to the sideline, and he took quite a shot getting out of bounds. But I'll tell you, you bring this up a lot. North-south runner, east-west runner, whatever way you want to call it. He wasn't going in the right direction at first, and he may have run about 30 yards by the time he was done. The end result's a 6-yard gain.
Well, that play starts out as an option, and what's happening there, Tommy's getting forced too deep back into the backfield. He either needs to make a decision to turn it up earlier or to pitch the football. And one way or the other, that's what should happen. When he gets forced as wide as he does like that, it makes it very, very difficult for that play to be successful. Although with his superior athletic ability, somehow he seems to turn nothing into something.
2nd and 14 now from the 24-yard line. Tommy on the keeper. They didn't fool him this time. Coming up to make the stop for Weymouth North, number 66, Alex Provost. And Alex, 6'2", 190 pounds. Seems like all the guys that hit Tommy McDavitt are big guys.
Well, there are not going to be too many defensive players on this Weymouth team who are going to be smaller than Tommy.
Right now, it's on the 22-yard line, a 2-yard pickup. It's going to be 3rd down and 12 now from the 22. They like to stay in the middle of the field. Don't forget, Tommy McDavitt can kick extra points and can kick field goals. Tommy dropping back to pass, has time. He's got Benedict out there again. And covering on the play was 34, Jason Capello, and coming up at the last minute to knock the ball away was 44, Darren Gladstone.
Well,
and it's a good thing he knocked the ball down because he was off to the races.
Darren Gladstone had been half a step sooner. We would have had about an 85-yard touchdown return going the other way for Weymouth North.
4th down, 12 yards to go from the Eagles from the 22-yard line. Into the ball game, 49, John Tudor. Cristani will be in tight on the left side. Setting up wide to the left, Jed Benedict. In the slot will be Adam Dean, 85. The lone setback is Joel Garrett. McDavitt dropping back to pass, has time over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. The pass was intended for Jed Benedict, cutting across the middle. And the ball just overthrown to the inside, and the Eagles will turn it over with 5:57 to go in the ball game. Let's see what happens now. If the Eagles are going to come up with a big defensive stand, they need it now.
Well, I give Coach Carl Frymouth a lot of credit there. I think that was a good call in going on that 4th down situation. The strength of this team has been their defense. You know, you've got Weymouth pinned pretty deep in their own territory. I think it was a good gamble on his part. Didn't work out well for the Eagles that time, but I'll take that gamble over Raymond Berry's last week any day.
Yeah, there you go. Dan Lindblom setting up wide to the left. Mraz in motion. And now here's Stevenson, the quarterback, getting away from the pressure, and he's tracked from behind, making the stop. Mark Ruggiero for Plymouth, number 56.
Give Dan Keller a lot of credit there, too, because I'll tell you, he blew through there past the center and really kind of flushed Stevenson out of the pocket in a hurry, you know, and it was just Stevenson's athletic ability that allowed that to turn into a gain instead of a loss.
Well, there was a gain of 6 on the play. The ball is on the 28. It'll be 2nd and 4 now from the 28-yard line. Stevenson, the quarterback, hands it off to, I think it's Mraz. Let's see. I'm not sure. He's short of the 1st down, whoever it was. It was either Mraz or Darren Gladstone, 44. Let's see who it was. Actually, it was 41, Lou Hendrickson. The officials are going to come in to measure this thing with 5:13 to go in the ball game. Carl Pratt along with Jack Lamborghini, Dennis Tavares, Mike Shea, and Eric Schulman. All right, you can see it about a yard away from a 1st down. A big situation now. 3rd and 1. The ball is placed on the 32-yard line.
Well, absolutely, this could be one of the biggest calls in the ball game right here for Weymouth North. With just over 5 minutes left in the ball game, they've got to start thinking about getting that ball in the end zone in a hurry. And this, with a 3rd and 1 situation here, could spell big things for the North offense.
Here's Stevenson, the quarterback, and he may not have gotten this thing. Let's wait to see what happens. He didn't need a whole lot. Let's see where they give him his forward progress. You can see the referee's getting right down on top of the play. Well, enough for a 1st down. It was a big defensive surge that time by Plymouth. In on the stop was number 51, Pat Burke. Pat Burke. So Weymouth North does get the 1st down. Stevenson doing the job. And this is the way it looks from the sideline for the Plymouth coaches. Stevenson dropping back, fakes once, now throws. The ball is tipped and almost picked off by the Eagles. It was batted over there, and it looked like Tudor caught it, but he may have been out of bounds. I'm not sure if he grabbed it.
I don't think he came up with it, and it was out of bounds anyway. You know, once again, that Plymouth front line came blowing through there. Mark Ruggiero was right in Stevenson's face and forced him to probably throw that ball not exactly at the same time that he wanted to.
All right, there you see Coach Carl Frymouth talking with Joe DeSisto. Carl always backs away from his team just a bit to get a good look at what's happening. And here we go for Weymouth North. 2nd down. Mraz in motion, swinging wide to the right. Stevenson dropping back to pass, throws over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. The pass was incomplete. As you can see, Stevenson getting up on the ground. I don't know who hit him in the backfield, Jack. Do you get it?
It was a whole host of people from the Plymouth side. I didn't get it quite myself, Carl.
Dan Daly was the intended receiver, number 12. The ball was there. Daly couldn't hold on.
Tommy McDavitt did a great job in coverage there, too, because he got there at the same time the football did, and he really helped jar that ball loose.
3rd and 10 from the 32-yard line. Here's a big situation now for Weymouth North with 4:31 to go. 10-6, Plymouth leading. Here's Mraz in motion once again. There's movement before the snap. Stevenson dropping back. Frymouth is chasing him. Jeff Frymouth trying to track him down. Stevenson trying to run, and coming up making the stop is Wayne Cristani. Wayne Cristani and Jeff Frymouth and Dan Keller and anybody else.
Great pursuit, great pursuit. Hey, you know, I'll tell you something. Jeff Frymouth on the right end, he came blowing in right past his man, forced Stevenson to make that little twist out of the pocket. Now, there's no way Jeff has got the kind of speed that he's going to run Stevenson down, but he did not quit. He was going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and when Stevenson finally had to make a move and slow up a little bit, Jeff was there along with Wayne Cristani to lay some lumber on him.
4th and 8 from the 35-yard line. The question is now, will Weymouth North go for it? They're not in punt formation, and the Plymouth Deep people don't realize it. The Plymouth Deep people didn't realize it. And the Eagles call a timeout now to talk this thing over. Head coach Carl Frymouth bringing his troops to the sidelines. Here's the situation, 3:48 to go. Our score is Plymouth 10, Weymouth North 6. Still plenty of football action remaining here on Channel 39. Stay with Cap Sports. We'll have the remainder of this football game after this timeout. Okay, here we go. 3:48 to go. 4th down for Weymouth North. Laws in motion once again. Stevenson dropping back to pass. He's hit at the last moment, and Tommy McDavitt almost came up with a tremendous interception.
Well, you're so used to seeing him do it on offense, why not do it on defense as well? Great play by Tommy McDavitt. He read the quarterback's eyes, came over from his safety position, and at the last second, knocked down what was a sure completion of the first down for Weymouth.
You know, it's interesting. In Plymouth's last 3 possessions, the ball has died on the Weymouth North 13, the Weymouth North 28, and the Weymouth North 22. So Plymouth definitely knocking on the door. Weymouth North took over with 5:57 to go in the 4th quarter. They've now given the ball up with 3:42 remaining in the ball game. So they had the ball there just about 2 minutes. And that's not what you want to do if you want to score the game-winning touchdown.
Well, I think now Weymouth is going to have to use some of their timeouts. They're going to try to keep this Plymouth team, you know, first of all, they're going to keep them out of the end zone, and secondly, they're going to try to conserve the clock.
1st and 10 for the Eagles on the 35-yard line. We've got a penalty flag on the play, and this may go against the Eagles. The referee looking right into the face, and they throw another flag.
Ooh, that's
not what Coach Weymouth wants to see, indeed. Some guys are saying some things that the referees do not appreciate as Weymouth North calls a timeout. We'll sort it out for you, but first let's take a timeout. Our score, Plymouth 10, Weymouth North 6.
Before you start your next project, be sure to call in the knowledgeable staff at Charlie's.
Weymouth North 6. Okay, welcome back to Mario Romano Stadium. Carl Pratt along with Jack Lamborghini, Dennis Tavares, Mike Shea, and Eric Schulman. 1st down and 24 for the Eagles from the 49. Offsetting penalties, 2 personal fouls against the Eagles, 1 against Weymouth North. And the Eagles are set to go with Jed Benedict set wide to the left. And there's the scoreboard clock, 3:32 to go in the ball game. And now, Tommy McDavitt comes up over the football, didn't like the defensive alignment, calls a timeout, and he'll go over and talk to head coach Carl Frymouth to see what the Eagles can come up with. The Plymouth Eagles trying to make it 3-0 and get their first league victory. Meanwhile, Weymouth North trying to go to 3-0. They're trying to make it 2-0 in league play.
You know, I'm standing here, Carl, I'm still watching Wayne Cristani as he's kind of bent over right now. He obviously is not, you know, as good physically as he'd like to be. He's just gutting it out right now. He's a tough kid. He wants to be a part of this this winning ball club. I think it's going to take a cannon shot to keep him out of a football game, but I don't think he's at 100% right now, and he's doing it on guts and determination.
All right, the Plymouth Eagles scored with 5:09 to go in the 1st quarter when they completed a 6-play, 40-yard drive on a 30-yard field goal by Tommy McDavitt. Plymouth made the score 10-0 in the 2nd quarter when Tommy McDavitt completed an 8-play, 62-yard drive with a 12-yard run. And Weymouth North's quarterback Stevenson scored here in the 4th quarter. And now it's 2nd down for the Eagles. Movement before the snap, and Weymouth North could be offside. Let's wait and see how they sort it out. Oh, they call it illegal procedure against the Eagles.
Geez, Carl, what's it? It's going to be 2nd down and about the state of Rhode Island to go or something like that right now?
Well, let's see. They've got to get all the way down to the 25. So they've got 29 yards to go. 2nd and 29 from the 46. Jed Benedict set wide to the left. 3:28 to go in the ball game here for Plymouth, so it'll be interesting to see if they stay on the ground to chew up some more time. Timmy Cherry gets the handoff, and Cherry stays in bounds. Cherry just over the 50-yard line. Just over the 50-yard line. The referee's blowing the whistle, and they're pointing. Weymouth North wants a timeout.
You know, when Plymouth runs that play, they're doing a great job of sealing off the inside backers. And if they can just get the end kicked out and control him just for another split second, Cherry is going through that hole with Joel Garrett in front of him. Boy, there aren't too many defensive backs who are going to want to take Joel Garrett on one-on-one when he's got up ahead of steam. That play has got some real potentiality as this game progresses.
9 carries for Timmy Cherry now, 77 yards. And Plymouth with a lot of yards on the ground again tonight against a very big Weymouth North team. 217 yards rushing for Plymouth, another big game. All right, 3:18 to go in the ball game. Weymouth North signal for that last timeout. When we come back, it'll be third down for the Eagles. Third down and 24 yards to go. Let's take a timeout. We'll be back with more. For the technical difficulties, there's the scoreboard clock. 2:20 to go in the ball game. 10 Plymouth, 6 Weymouth North. Weymouth North took over 1st and 10 on the 9-yard line after the punt by Tommy McDavitt. They threw an incompleted pass. They ran it one time and another incomplete pass. And here we go, 4th down and about 2 from the 18-yard line. And there's movement before the snap. The right side of the Weymouth North line moved, and that's going to cost the Maroons.
That's the one that makes you get ulcers if you're a coach, I'll tell you. Looked like it was the wingback on the right side. I believe that might have been Gladstone, who moved prematurely.
It'll be 3rd down and 8. Now from the 11-yard line, maybe the 12. Weymouth North really hurting themselves with penalties tonight. 9 penalties, 75 yards. And with 2:09 to go in the ball game, another costly penalty. Here's the play of the game now for Weymouth North. 4th down. We'll call it 6 yards to go. Stevenson dropping back to pass, and the ball is well short. Well short. The Plymouth defense right there. The pass was intended for Chuck Manturi, and the Eagles will take over in great field position.
Another thunderous rush put on again by Jeff Frymouth. He beat his man to the inside this time. For most of the evening, Carl, he's been beating him to the outside. And he just did a little dipsy-do inside, and the poor kid for Weymouth North never had a chance. And Jeff got right in Stevenson's face, forced him to throw that ball low and away.
And Plymouth will take over now. 1st and 10 from the 14. There goes Tommy McDavitt in with the play from head coach Carl Frymouth. 2:03 to go in the ball game.
I don't think there's a lot of strategy now with what the players. They think this could be Timmy don't fumble. That was the play. Tommy, I'm sorry.
Timmy on the other side.
Timmy Cherry. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tim Stevenson. Oh. All right. McDavitt keeps the football. It'll be interesting. 157, 156. Weymouth North takes a timeout. That gives us an opportunity to take a break with 1:55 to go in the ball game. Plymouth 10, Weymouth North 6. We'll be back with more in a minute. 5 to go in the ball game. Weymouth North all out of their timeouts. 2nd down for the Eagles now from the 11-yard line. Here's Joel Garrett for Plymouth. Joel tries the right side. He's inside the 10-yard line. And unless some miracle happens here, Jack, the Plymouth Eagles will hold on, and they're going to come away with their 3rd victory of the season and a very important win here at home against a very good football team in Weymouth North.
Well, you know, not only is it an important win, it's been an impressive win, Carl. You know, because really, even though the score isn't indicative of it, the Eagles have dominated this football game. You know, both offensively and defensively.
Here's Tommy McDavitt just looking over. He's going to take as much time as he can. 1:19 and counting in the ball game. A long count for the Eagles. They'll get a delay of game penalty here, but I don't think that's going to bother them. These are the kind of penalties that are important, I think.
Well, as a quarterback, you know, you don't mind using up every second on that clock. That you got, I think, 25 seconds or 30 seconds in high school, and it was a smart move on Tom's part to just, you know, let that clock run out.
There's Ray Burton, the trainer, talking to number 40 for Plymouth, Jason Bierce. Jason moving up and down the sidelines for Plymouth. He had another strong game on the defensive side. He's one of those injured players that got back in the lineup last week. Jed Benedict came back in the lineup this week for the Eagles. They start to get some of these injured people back in the lineup. They're going to be more and more tougher and tougher to beat. Joel Garrett coming down the side. Joel showing his strength.
You know, that was only about a 3-yard pickup, Carl, but you won't see a more impressive 3-yard run than that. I mean, he just ran over some people.
You can see him laboring, getting up. You know he played a whale of a football game on both sides of the ball.
Well, there was an awful lot of effort expended right there in that 3-yard carry, let me tell you.
All right, it's 4th down for the Eagles. We'll call it 8 yards to go. The ball right now on the 13-yard line. They've got to run off one more play. Tommy McDavitt comes out for the Eagles. 30 seconds and counting in the ball game now. Tommy keeping the football. They blow the whistle. And once again, the Eagles may have taken too much time.
Yeah, that's what we got, Carl, a delay of game.
28 seconds to go in the ball game for Plymouth now. The football has been put back on the 17-yard line. And this should just about do it here. Unless the Eagles get a first down, Weymouth North will get one last crack at it. Here's Timmy Cherry taking the pitch out for the Eagles, and Timmy slipped on about the 10-yard line. Timmy, after a gain of about 8 yards, turns the ball over, and Weymouth North, with 23 seconds to go, has one more life.
Last chance. It should be interesting. I'll tell you, we should be playing defense about as far back into the parking lot at this point.
Brett Strassel is playing center field right now. Brett is backed up on the 30-yard line. You can see him there. Tommy McDavitt will move over. Wayne Cristani, Mike Henderson, John Tudor. Weymouth North with all sorts of wide receivers. Stevenson dropping back. We'll see his arm go now, and boy, can he go. Tommy McDavitt is out there, and the ball is tapped. Tommy out there on defense, guarding number 86, Dan Lindblom. And now there's 15 seconds to go after the incompletion by Stevenson.
Well, that ball traveled about 48 yards in the air, Carl, and it wasn't a very high pass either. You almost threw that in the line.
There you see John Tudor, another defensive back for the Eagles. John on the near side, taking a breather. He knows he worked his tail off tonight. You know, we've said McDavitt, we've said Cherry, we've said Frymouth, we've said Cristani. Some of these guys, we don't say their names enough, but 11 guys contributing on both sides of the football tonight for Plymouth. They needed them all to get a victory tonight.
This has been the consummate team effort, no question about that.
Stevenson from way back on the 3-yard line lets a long one go. And the ball is caught, or is it? No, caught out of bounds at least. Way up on about the 50-yard line, and once again, the strength of Stevenson's arm. We still have 6 seconds to go.
Well, we're going to get that at least one more time anyway, Carl.
Six seconds to go. 10 Plymouth, 6 Weymouth North. 3rd down now for the Maroons.
So when you go back in the huddle, you just tell everybody to go long.
Stevenson going back once again. Not a whole lot of pressure. He's trying to find somebody. He's going to be forced to try to run. And he'll let this one go on the fly. And let's see if somebody gets it for Plymouth. The ball is picked up, and it's picked off. The ball is picked off by Brett Strassel. Brett Strassel with his 3rd interception of the game. And he picks it off to end the game. And there you see the Plymouth Eagles running out there. Let's take a look at Brett Strassel, number 34, and Brett certainly happy with what he came up with today. Inserted in that starting lineup for Plymouth is Jason Bierce, Brett Strassel, number 34, and the Plymouth Eagles with a real big victory tonight, 10-6 over Weymouth North.
Well, what can you say? Defensively, the Eagles just did it all tonight. Brett Strassel with his 3 interceptions. I think that kind of epitomizes the way that the Plymouth Blue Eagles shut the door on the Weymouth North Maroons this evening. Weymouth came in here with probably one of the most heralded offenses in the state, scoring 43 and 38 points in their first 2 ball games, Carl. And tonight the Eagles just shut them down. I mean, just domination from the defensive side of the football.
Look at Wayne Cristani over here limping near the midfield stripe. Wayne hustling off the field. And the whole Eagles ball club really happy with what they performed tonight, upping their record to 3-0. We'll be back to recap tonight's game, but first, this time out.